Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news guys. I do apologise again, as I did say yesterday on quite a few of my videos, my phone is currently going dodgy at the moment, so if it keeps going dodgy I will be live streaming on this current thing of course as well. So to give you a bit of an update today is in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. I did currently do this morning, building up to the Manchester United West Ham game this weekend, of course, 5:30 kick-off tomorrow night, of course, as well. So potentially, as we all know, Manchester United are in a bit of bad vein of form at the moment. We've lost 2 of our last 3 league games, and of course we've lost 4 of our last 5 games in all competitions, of course, as well. So potentially, we just know recently, we haven't been clinical enough, we haven't been ruthless enough in front of goal, of course, as well. So this is a must-win game for Manchester United if we do want to keep our top 4 ambitions alive. And I think we've got 6 games left now. Obviously, we've still got City to play at home, we've still got Chelsea to play at home, but I think we've got to win at least 5 of our remaining 6 games if we have got any chances of getting the top 4 of course this season as well. So potentially, as I said, West Ham are in a bit of a bad vein of form themselves. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, of course. They're sitting 11th in the league. Obviously they're fighting to get in the top half the table, and they've got an injury crisis as well of West Ham, as well as Manchester United, of course, as well. I think West Ham could be missing up to 6 first team players reportedly as well. I think Carlos Sanchez is out for them, I think Andy Carroll's out for them, I think Winston Reed's out for them as well, I think Mikel Antonio's out for them, Samir Nasri, Wilshere, and all that as well. So they've got an injury crisis of West Ham, of course, as well. So potentially Solskjaer has said some stuff in his press conference. He's give us a bit of a team news, of course. Obviously he's going to make a couple of changes in this game. He's only going to Solskjaer. He's confirmed that, obviously he said in relation to Matteo Darmian, who's been injured for a long time, did say Darmian will probably be available for the game tomorrow evening. He also said that Rojo will be available as well. So he's going to rotate them full-back positions, of course, because we do know that Ashley Young, of course, is suspended after getting sent off against Wolves the other week, and we do know, of course, that Luke Shaw will not be featuring in the next 2 league games, of course, because obviously he's suspended, from getting his 10th buckleable offence, Luke Shaw. So potentially I think he's suspended for this game, Luke Shaw, against West Ham. He's also suspended for the game against Barcelona in the second leg of the Champions League, and he's also suspended for the game against Everton, of course, as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's also confirmed that Herrera and Matic he said Herrera's going to be probably out, so Herrera's definitely still out. Matic, he said Matic is a doubt as well, because Matic has got some kind of illness, so potentially Matic is going to be a doubt. So potentially he'll go with Fred, McTominay and Pogba more than likely in that midfield. And he's also given us an update on Alexis Sanchez, of course, as well. Solskjaer has confirmed that he's injury free now. He's confirmed that Sanchez has been training. He's trained twice and all that as well. But Solskjaer still remains uncertain if he's going to be 100% fit enough, to participate in the game tomorrow evening as well. Because Sanchez has obviously, just had a knee injury. We do know Manchester United have still got Valencia out with a calf injury, so he won't be participating. We know Bailly, of course, is still out with a head injury, of course, because Eric Bailly has got a concussion, of course, as well. So the likely lineup he'll go with tomorrow is probably De Gea in goal. He'll go with Diego Dalot at right back, of course. He'll put Diego Dalot at right back. He'll put Smalling and Lindelof as a centre back partnership. He'll probably put Darmian at left back, or Rojo at left back. The midfield trio, he'll go with Scott McTominay, Fred and Pogba, and the front 3 he'll probably go with Martial on the left, Lukaku up top and Lingard on the right, because I think Rashford will be rested for this game as well, because Rashford suffered quite a few injuries in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's affected his game a little bit. He didn't look fully fit on Wednesday night against Barcelona, Marcus Rashford, and we do know he's got great potential. He's usually like lightning, he likes to get them runs in behind Marcus Rashford. Some people are saying he's not kind of there yet, Marcus Rashford is nowhere near on the same levels of the likes of Keelan and Mbappe and all that, and potentially it may take Rashford a couple of years, to emulate to Keelan and Mbappe's level, of course, as well. But he's still 21, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, of course, as well. And I've analysed his performances under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Mainly they've been very, very good with Marcus Rashford, but potentially I think he needs to be rested for this game against West Ham, because he didn't look fully fit on Wednesday night. Obviously just recently had an ankle injury, of course, as well. So potentially this is a game that Manchester United, of course, have got to win. And going into the Barcelona, the Barcelona game on Wednesday night, I was very, very impressed with the performance of Manchester United. There was a lot of good individual performances. It's been the only thing that let Manchester United down. We were lacking in that final third. We didn't create enough in the final third. I don't think we created enough opportunities, to be quite honest with you as well. I thought Ashley Young was woeful, and I think Ashley Young needs to leave Manchester United this summer, because I saw some of his statistics, you know, from the other night against Barcelona. He had 11 attempted crosses, not one of them found a United player, and I think he must have lost a possession about 30 times. So the positive news is he's suspended for tomorrow evening's game as well, which is very, very good news. It's a shame that Luke Shaw's suspended for the next couple of league games as well. But on Wednesday night, I was very, very impressed, you know, with Fred and McTominay. You know, Fred and McTominay, you know, are inexperienced midfielders, especially they're inexperienced at Champions League level. But I thought Fred played very, very well Wednesday night against Barcelona. Even though we lost the game 1-0, I still thought Man United played very, very well, and Fred dominated the midfield. I thought he was supporting the defenders well, and I do think he's actually probably more mobile and better on the ball, you know, than the Nemanja Matic is Fred, you know, to be quite honest. I don't know if he's still a long-term solution for Manchester United, Fred. Obviously, we got him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk for around, was it £50 million or something like that as well, so he deserves another chance, you know, there's Fred of course as well. McTominay, you know, has been playing very, very well in the last couple of weeks, you know, he's growing and developing and flourishing, fantastic playing between the lines very, very well. It was good to see him score his first goal for the club the other week against Wolves of course well, but I thought he put a great performance out against Barcelona. I thought Smalling played very, very well against Barcelona. I wouldn't say he pocketed Messi, but I thought, you know, Smalling had a good game. I thought Luke Shaw had a good game, but obviously he's going to miss the second leg because obviously he got his name in the book as well. And yeah, I thought Lukaku wasn't too bad. I don't think he was great. I thought Pogba played okay. I thought he did look influential in that midfield, did Paul Pogba, but he potentially wasn't our best player the other night, you know, Paul Pogba of course as well. But Barcelona were bang average, you know, Wednesday night. I thought they were lucky to win in a way because they really didn't create nothing. You know, they're a big massive club, you know, obviously they're going to win the La Liga. This is going to be their fourth La Liga in 5 seasons of course as well. I think they've only lost once at the new camp this season as well of Barcelona, but potentially they're a well established club with lots of money. They're one of the richest clubs in the world, and it's not the Barcelona that beat us in the 2011 Champions League final and the 2009 Champions League final of course as well. So I think I'm still confident that Manchester United, you know, can turn this 1-goal deficit around, and that we can go to a new camp and, you know, and get a result at the new camp, because you just never know in football. Because look what happened in the previous round, you know, we was 2-0 down from the first leg against PSG, then in the second leg we came back at a 1-3 won, and in that game Manchester United of course had 10 first team players out of course as well. But Barcelona were bang average on Wednesday night, you know, Messi was really, really poor, but still arguably the best player in the world. You know, Luis Suarez was very, very poor indeed. So Barcelona, you know, were shadow of themselves on Wednesday night of course as well. But potentially we need to win this game against West Ham of course. As I did say, they're fighting for the top 10 as we all know. Potentially I think they did well last summer, you know, West Ham, they invested quite well, you know, they got 10 new additions into their club last summer. Obviously it's Manuel Pellegrini's first season as West Ham manager of course as well. So potentially I do think it will probably be a Man United win. Obviously we lost 3-1 earlier on in the season. I think the last meeting at Old Trafford was 4-0 to Manchester United of course as well. But we do know, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker now is obviously, you know, making plans for the summer, of course, as well. I think we're going to get around over £200 million to spend this summer. Ole Gunnar Solsjaker is looking to bring at least 5 new additions to the club this summer because he's expected to orchestrate a big summer clear-out. I think he's ready to sanction at least 6 players off this summer, is Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. You know, there's still some contract renewals to sort out. Potentially, he's identified the positions where, you know, where he thinks Manchester United need to strengthen up. Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, we need a right-back. His priority is to get a right winger in. We need a couple of additions in midfield, and potentially, you know, we do need a centre-back of course as well. But you can see the deficiencies in the squad. You know, obviously Solskjaer wants to build a squad, you know, worthy of the club's history as well. And potentially we're looking to hire a director of football to come in. There's been a few candidate names being mentioned, you know, to take that director's role at Manchester United, you know, so we can change the club structure and all that. But it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, he's emphasising his targets. He's showed an interest in quite a few young upcoming prospects as well, you know, which is very, very good. But we've got to get the right players, you know, that have got the ability to elevate Manchester United, you know, in the next 2 to 3 years, of course, as well. The right ability to elevate Manchester United in the next 2 to 3 years, of course. But Solskjaer has been in regular contact, you know, with Ed Woodward, of course, making plans for the summer. But maybe we should be sensible with our recruitment this summer, maybe not spend too much money on one player, of course, as well, because these players out there that are available for a reasonable figure, of course, as well. But potentially Solskjaer's #1 priority as well is to keep Pogba at the club and to keep De Gea at the club, of course, as well. So potentially players are going to leave United this summer, as we all know. But have you noticed now we've got players that are demanding, you know, quite a bit more money, and I think this boils down, you know, to what Sanchez is receiving, you know, because he's on his wages are absolutely massive. He's on, obviously, he's our highest paid player at the club, and I think what he's receiving, it's totally affecting our wage structure in a bad way, because now we've got other players, you know, demanding quite a bit more money, of course, now. And De Gea's still yet to sign a new contract at the club. You know, he's demanding £350,000 a week from Manchester United, of course, as well as De Gea. Man United are not willing to meet his £350,000 a week wage demands. This is why we haven't come to an agreement yet to get De Gea a new contract. Real Madrid have been long admirers of De Gea. Real Madrid were on the brink of getting him in 2015, of course. Recent reports have said that PSG are reportedly interested in David De Gea, but he's been a great servant to the club. This is his 8th season now at Manchester United, of course, and hopefully somewhere along the line, you know, we can come to an agreement to get him a new contract. Last year we activated a 12-month extension on his contract, so he's still on the contract here until the summer of 2020. Of course, is David De Gea, of course, as well. And I think Solsjaker says he's not allowed to leave Manchester United this summer. De Gea, of course, as well. You know, we've got Pogba as well. You know, recent reports have been coming out about Paul Pogba saying his relationship with Ole Gunnar Solsjaker is reportedly slowly fading, because he has built a fantastic relationship, you know, with Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, Paul Pogba. And of course, when Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, you know, managed the Manchester United reserve team, of course, he watched some of this team at this day and age, you know, grow and develop, and obviously one of them players was Paul Pogba, of course. Well, and of course, we do know overall he's been one of our most influential players since Ole Gunnar Solsjaker has come in, of course, as well. But reportedly, his relationship is slowly fading with Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, because I think Paul Pogba is intending on making the move to Real Madrid this summer, because a couple of weeks back, you know, Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid and all that, saying he described them as a dream club. He said Madrid's a dream for anyone, and I think he's intending on going to Real Madrid this summer, as Paul Pogba. Of course, Zinedine Zidane is a big admirer of Paul Pogba, as we all know. Obviously, we've got Zinedine Zidane that's emphasising his targets, and he wants to, you know, invest in Real Madrid's squad this summer as well. And he's emphasised, you know, quite a few targets as Zinedine Zidane, but one of them, of course, is Paul Pogba. Reports have been coming out saying that Real Madrid are preparing to offer around 125 million for Paul Pogba this summer, but I think if any offers do come in this summer, Man United are willing to turn them down. Obviously, his agent Pogba's obviously been in the process, you know, of he's had a couple of negotiations with Real Madrid about a summer move for Pogba. I think he's been to Manchester to negotiate a summer move for Paul Pogba. Are set to begin contract negotiations with Pogba, but reportedly he's demanding an astronomical salary of around £500,000 a week is Pogba if he's to commit his long-term future in Manchester United, and of course if he's to sign a new contract with Manchester United. Paul Pogba, so reportedly he's demanding £500,000 a week. At the moment on his current deal he's on £300,000 a week, is Paul Pogba, and he's still in the contract with United till 2021. So he's still got over 2 years left on his deal, plus there's an option of a further year as well. But there has been a lot of talks about him, you know, possibly, you know, going to Real Madrid, Paul Pogba. And as I said, Zinedine Zidane's an admirer of the player. Solskjaer has spoken to Paul Pogba, and I think Solskjaer insists he's still happy at United. He still insists that he's got a big future at Manchester United, of course, as well. Paul Pogba. There's also been rumours that he could make a return back to Italy with Juventus, where he did have 4 good years, and obviously now he's heading into his 4th season as a Manchester United player, because we paid £89 million for him, you know, back in 2016, of course. But it is essentially, you know, we need a couple of additions in our midfield, as you all know, as well. And obviously, you know, it's looking like Leandro Herrera's on his way out of the club this summer as well, because potentially recent reports did allegedly say that he was demanding around £200,000 a week from Manchester United if he was to sign a new contract with Manchester United, reportedly. But reportedly, Manchester United were not willing to meet his £200,000 a week wage demands potentially. Reports were saying that reportedly he's agreed a deal to join PSG on the 3 at the end of the season. I think it's a 3-year deal worth around, I think, £150,000 a week, or is it £170,000 a week, or something like that. So now we are emphasising replacements, you know, for Ander Herrera, of course, as well. So potentially it's looking likely he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer, and we're letting him go on a free transfer, of course. Obviously he's been here, this is his 5th season now at United. He's made 187 appearances for the club as Ander Herrera, but I think we paid about £30 million for him from Atletico Bilbao back in 2014. But I've analysed his performances under Solskjaer. Obviously he's suffered quite a few injuries, you know, most recently as Ander Herrera. This is why he hasn't potentially, you know, been participating, of course, but he breaks up the play very, very well. He's tenacious, of course, and he gallops forward very, very well, does Ander Herrera. But we do know there's better midfielders out there than Ander Herrera, and for me, he's not a £200,000 a week player, of course, as well. And potentially, you know, we've looked at quite a few replacements, you know, for Ander Herrera, and you know, there was a lot of talks yesterday going on about Everton's Idrissa Gueye, of course, as well. There was a lot of talks about Idrissa Gueye, you know, going on. Plays for Everton, of course. I think he's actually the same age as Ander Herrera. Idrissa Gueye is 29 years of age. Of course, I think overall Ander Herrera's had a better career than Idrissa Gueye, but reportedly Idrissa Gueye this summer could be available for a reasonable fee, and I think we could get him for just under £30 million reportedly as well. So we've identified him as a good replacement for Ander Herrera. He is a defensive midfielder as Idrissa Gueye, but we need a defensive midfielder, you know, that's fast and tenacious, of course, as well. I think we need a defensive midfielder that's more mobile than Matic, and he was better on the ball than Nemanja Matic. And Idrissa Gueye, you know, is a pretty decent player, you know, to be quite honest with you. You know, he's been at Everton a couple of years now. Well, I think it's his third season now at Everton. I think all in all, he's made 128 appearances in the Premier League. Obviously, this was including his season, of course, he had with Aston Villa, of course, as well. He's 29, as you all know. He's a Senegal international. As Idrissa Gueye, he's a former Villa player. He's also a former Lille player as well. But I think Everton paid around just over £7 million to him because Everton triggered a release clause in Idrissa Gueye's contract, and I think that cost just over £7 million, and he initially signed a 4-year deal. But based on his fantastic performances with Everton in February last year, he got his contract extended with Everton Football Club until 2022. Idrissa Gueye, of course, well, and it's also as well Premier League proven. So do you think he'd blend in our midfield very, very well? You know, if Idrissa Gueye, you know, was to come to Manchester United. PSG obviously inquired about getting him back in January. I think PSG had a bid or two, you know, turned down for Idrissa Gueye in January, because I think Everton were demanding that they wanted around £40 million for Idrissa Gueye, of course. But he is aging up now, you know, he is aged 29, as Idrissa Gueye, as you all know. And there's been another potential target, you know, Manchester United target who could replace Ander Herrera as well, and that's Atletico Madrid's Solsjaker. Now, there's been quite a few talks about him, you know, going on. Obviously, he's Spanish, as we all know. He's only 24 years of age. He's versatile. He's player. He can play as a defensive midfielder, he can play as a central midfielder, he can also play on the right as well. Solsjaker, as a reporter, I think Atletico Madrid have prepared to offer him a new contract. He says that Manchester United are interested in him, Man City are interested in him, Barcelona I think are also interested in him as well, because I think he's unhappy with Atletico Madrid, and he spent the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid, you know, graduated from their youth system. I think he's gone on to make over 200 odd appearances, you know, for Atletico Madrid, but he could cost quite a bit of money because he's got a release clause of £128 million in his deal with Atletico Madrid. But I think he can fulfil the number 6 role. He can also fulfil the number 8 role as well. So there has been talks going on about Solsjaker as well. And you know, going back to Idrissa Gueye, you know, Idrissa Gueye is actually probably a cheaper alternative than Declan Rice, because Declan Rice is actually, you know, being a Manchester United target as well. It did say Manchester United are prepared to pay up to £50 million, you know, for Declan Rice, because I think that's what Declan Rice is rated at. Obviously, he's going and developing and flourishing fantastically well under Manuel Pellegrini. He's been at West Ham a number of years now. He broke into the senior squad a couple of years ago as well. He signed a new deal back in December, so he's under contract with West Ham until 2024. He's Declan Rice. Of course, he's one of England's youngest upcoming talents. He's only 20 years of age, of course, as well. Initially, he graduated from Chelsea's youth system, so that's where he actually began his career. I think he joined at the age of 7, but then he was there a number of years, and then he got axed off by Chelsea at the age of 14, of course, and potentially then he joined West Ham's youth system. Now he's been in the senior squad, you know, quite a few years, and I think he's made about 56 senior appearances for West Ham in the Premier League, of course, as well, Declan Rice. So he's been a potential Manchester United target, as we all know, as well. So we're keen on getting a few additions in that midfield, of course, as well. And potentially, as I did say, I think Valencia's on his way out of the club this summer. He's been a good servant to United, you know, this is his 10th season now at Manchester United, of course. He's made over 300 appearances for the club. He's currently injured at the moment, as I said, with a calf injury, of course, so he's looking like he's on his way out in this summer. I think Rojo's probably on his way out in the summer as well. I think he's going to get the opportunity to play this weekend, but I think Rojo's on his way out this summer because his career's been affected, you know, the match string of injuries he's suffered as a Manchester United player. I think Bay's probably on his way out as well in the summer if a new centre-back is to come in, because Bay has been in and out of the team this season for Manchester United, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's preferred the likes of Smalling and Jones ahead of Eric Bay. Eric Bay has still got great potential. This is his 3rd season now at United. He's made just under 50 appearances, of course, in the Premier League, of course. Darmian probably on his way out in the summer as well, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time here at Manchester United, of course. And I think, you know, definitely, you know, Sanchez is probably on his way out in the summer as well, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time here at Manchester United. He's unknown if he's going to be available tomorrow night or not, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said. You know, he's been training and he's trained twice, and, you know, he's injury-free now, but we still don't know if he's going to be involved in the game, because he's recently just had an injury. He's sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, as Alexis Sanchez. You know, he's been here just about 15, 16 months now, but when he has played, he just looks so restricted. It just looks as though, you know, Sanchez years hasn't been getting the freedom, and he just hasn't settled in as a Manchester United player. Of course, it's going to be hard to find a buy for him this summer, considering his substantial wages he's on, of course, as well. So potentially I think Sanchez is probably on his way out this summer as well. And potentially I think Juan Mata could be on his way out of the club this summer as well. Reports came out the other week saying that Barcelona are in talks to get Juan Mata, of course, on a free transfer as well. And I think Lukaku, could possibly be moved on in the summer as well. Romelu Lukaku, and Lukaku's goal scoring form is very, very good in the Premier League. Of course, his goal scoring form is very, very good in the Premier League, and he's got a good pedigree in the Premier League. But I just think his finishing lets him down. He doesn't get enough of them runs in behind. I've got reservations, about Romelu Lukaku, to be quite honest with you as well. And his first touch, really, really concerns me. Indeed, we initially paid £75 million for Lukaku a couple of years ago. He has scored a lot of goals for Manchester United. Initially, Rashford is first choice ahead of him, of course, but potentially for me, I think a lot of United fans are saying that Lukaku should be moved on in the summer, and definitely Ashley Young definitely needs to be moved on this summer, of course, because by the time his 1 year extension expires, he'll be nearly 35 years of age, of course, and I think he's made over 300 appearances for the club as Young. He's been here a good 8 years now, and back in the day, he was a good right winger with Ashley Young, but potentially he's past it now, so potentially we need someone young and ambitious on that right hand side, of course, as well, And there's been talks about Wan-Bissaka, and I think, to be quite honest with you, I think to be quite honest with you guys, I think Wan-Bissaka, would be a perfect successor, to the likes of Valencia and Ashley Young. I think he's rated around £40 million, Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, he only broke into the Crystal Palace first team last year, of course, as well. I think he's gone on to make about just under 40 senior appearances, for Crystal Palace, but I think he's rated around £40 million, and I think he's got the ability to elevate Manchester United the next 2 to 3 years. He's 21, he's one of England's youngest upcoming talents as well as Wan-Bissaka, so potentially, he's also been a Manchester United target, of course, as well. So there has been a lot of talks about him going on. Obviously, as well, Toby Alderweireld, of course, central defender. He's available for a reasonable figure. The reports coming out the other day about Toby Alderweireld saying that Man United are reportedly looking to trigger his £25 million release clause. That actually Tottenham in January activated the 12-month extension, of course, and included a £25 million release clause, because obviously Toby Alderweireld refused the contract renewal with Tottenham, of course, as well. And he's been at Tottenham a number of years now. I've got strong reservations about him now, considering he's just turned 30 as Toby Alderweireld. We know that there is much better options out there than Alderweireld, and he's nowhere near the same levels as the likes of the Koulibalis or the Rafael Varanes or the Sergio Ramoses, the top class central defenders. That them type players are going to cost Manchester United a hell of a lot more money, and Toby Alderweireld's available for a reasonable figure. I think he's got the ability to play out from the back. He can be a world class central defender. Sometimes his performances are underwhelming, don't get me wrong, but he has lost that yard of pace now as Alderweireld. But I think he'd be beneficial, considering that he's Premier League proven. He's been at Tottenham a number of years now. I think he's made over 150 appearances for Tottenham as well as Toby Alderweireld. I think he's a former Ajax player where he actually began his career, former Atletico Madrid player. I think he was once at Southampton on loan, of course, as well. But I think he actually could be one of Manchester United's first signings this summer, could on making the move to Manchester United. We need to address our defensive. Tottenham still have other options in their backline. Even if they do get rid of Alderweireld this summer, they've still got lots of Davinson Sanchez and Jan Vertonghen, that can link up in their backline, of course, as well. So there has also been talked about Toby Alderweireld, of course, as well. There's been talks about Toby Alderweireld as well, and there were reports coming out the other day, about Harvey Lozano as well. And I'm thinking about Harvey Lozano. I think he'd be a great addition, if he came to Manchester United, because as he updated you on one of my videos the other day, saying that reportedly he's spoken to Javi Hernandez as Harvey Lozano reportedly, and he's asked him about life at Old Trafford, because obviously Hernandez, spent 5 years at Manchester United, of course, as well. And Javi Hernandez reportedly urged Harvey Lozano, to make the move to Manchester United this summer. And I think he'd link up very, very well, with Rashford and Martial in our front line, to be quite honest, because Harvey Lozano can play as a winner. He can also play as a forward. He's still very, very young. I think he's only 23 years of age. His performances were really, really good last summer in the World Cup for Mexico as well. And again, he's going to be available for a reasonable figure, because I think he's got a release clause of around £34 million. I think Manchester United have been scouting the player for quite a few years now. We've been long admirers of the player, and I think Manchester United have had negotiations with his agent Raiola, of course, well, you know, Harvey Lozano's, and reportedly he's had a good season this season, reportedly with PSV. I think he's been at PSV a couple of seasons now as Harvey Lozano, and I think he's got the abilities. He can score goals, he can provide as well, and it would be good, you know, for Harvey Lozano, you know, to come and experience the Premier League, of course, as well. So there has been potential talks about him, but we need someone on that right hand side, you know, that can play between the bylines, you know, put crosses into the box, and I think that Harvey Lozano is capable of doing that. We do know that still Jadon Sancho is the club's #1 priority target, of course, and I think his capabilities are very, very good, and I think he's got the ability to elevate Manchester United in the next couple of years at least, because he's proven himself fantastically well in Germany, Jadon Sancho. But as I did currently say, if he does become for sale in the summer, he's going to cost Manchester United around. He's going to cost us around at least £100 million, of course, as well. But there has been a narrative going on about now for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and he would be a great addition to the squad, but he's going to cost us at least around £100 million. Is Jadon Sancho. He's still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022, as we all know, as well as Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund financially make a huge profit from the player. They only paid £7 million to him a couple of years ago from Manchester City, but if we were to come to an agreement to get him in the summer, it would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. And Borussia Dortmund have been known, of course, you know, for doing business with other players. You know, they've done it with Pulisic, they did it with Aubameyang, they did it with Ousmane Dembele, of course, well. But we do know he's going to cost us quite a bit of money, is Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. So there has been a lot of talk, you know, about him going in the media. So really just wanted to give you an update and more of a build up on the Manchester United West Ham game. You know, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Give us some team news. He's confirmed Darmian will probably be available. Work that bit. See, my phone's just going dodgy at the moment. Work that. Just why I've got to do it on here for the time being, because my phone's going a bit dodgy. Work that, guys, at the moment. I'll go. But yeah, as he did say probably Darmian will be available, as he did currently say. What?
I'm off.
Off where? Alright.
Got literally lost the gate.
Alright.
The bike's still here.
Okay. Sanchez could be available, but he's not sure yet, and he's confirmed that Herrera's still out, and he's also confirmed that Matic is going to be a doubt as well due to Matic's illness, of course, as well. So it's very, very essential that Manchester United, of course, get the win at the weekend, because as I said, we've lost 3, we've lost 2 of our last 3 league games, we've lost 4 of our last 5 in all competitions as well. So we have got to get back to winning ways, and that is very, very essential indeed. So the team he'll go with De Gea in goal, he'll go with Dalot at right back, Lindelof Smalling centre back partnership, Darmian or Rojo at left back, midfield trio, Fred McTominay, Pogba. Front 3, Martial left, Lukaku up top, Lingard on the right, so that will be a line-up, I do think, as well. So anyway, drop your quiet slice below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribe to the channel, as always, and take care, God bless, and see you all again very, very soon, guys. Thanks for watching.